Hello, welcome to Pendulum Friday here at Soulprint. Thank you very, very much for being here. Today we are thanking the brilliant Beth. The amazing Joyce just had something to do this week, and so her and the brilliant Beth are going to sort of share the pulling together the Pendulum Friday questions for me when Joyce has a lot going on in her world. So, Beth, thank you very, very much. I've received them. They're awesome. Now, there are a whole bunch of sort of questions here that really aren't questions as much as they're requests for additional readings or to look at something. Some of them I'm going to literally turn into a yes no, and then some of them I'm just going to sort of zip past and take a look at them at another time. All right, so the first one is actually Canadian. And so the leader of the NDP, which is the New Democratic Party, has withdrawn his pact with the Liberal Party, with the Trudeau Liberal parties. Okay, so what happened to the Liberal Party did not have enough seats to hold a majority. So what they did was they sort of created an alliance with the NDP so that the Liberals and the NDP would sort of function almost like in lockstep with each other. But it's not quite that easy. I mean, Liberals had to promise a bunch of stuff that the NDP wanted, etc. So what has happened is he has now pulled back his support, basically saying that Trudeau's just not doing stuff fast enough. So, be that. The question is this. Is that going to change Trudeau's plans for his political future options? And I have to tell you, the last time I checked, I don't think Trudeau knew what his political options were. It felt like he was really, really undecided. But let's just ask that question. Yes. Has Trudeau's calculus for his future potential career in politics altered as a result of the NDP pullback? Okay, so yes. Now, my understanding is that even so, there aren't going to be enough votes for them to be able to boot him out with a non-confidence vote. So it seems sort of like right now he's sort of safe, I guess. Will Trudeau step down from the leadership of the Liberal Party prior to the run-up to the election? No. Okay, so he's going to hold in there. As of right now, that is his intention. And is there somebody in the Liberal Party who could step into that leadership role? Okay, so yes. Now, I have asked before about, I think her name is Krista Freeland, I think. She is like the deputy prime minister of Canada. You'd think I would know this stuff, right? Is she a likely contender to move into a leadership role? Okay, and that's yes. All right. There's some questioning here about the whole Gaza thing and October surprises, and I'm going to boil this down to just one question, because it strikes me that Netanyahu has gotten very, very stubborn. And I'm sure he has a whole bunch of, well, I don't know, whatever he considers valid reasons for that. But my question is this: did Netanyahu have some sort of an agreement with Trump, or did Trump ask Netanyahu to drag out settling the war so that it could go on for another 6 months? But when when Trump then returns to the White House, which we know he's not going to, but he could step in, and sort of solve the problem. So was there some sort of a conversation between Netanyahu and Trump to kind of work in cahoots to strengthen Trump? Go, well, look at that. That's a big yes. To sort of strengthen Trump's political aspirations, which is just foolish. So in one of the readings I did, there were a lot of swords that were. I was talking. It was pertaining to one of the readings with regards to Trump. And somebody wanted to know if the swords could also represent all of the vast variety of law situations and legal situations that Trump has going on. But then they wanted to know if I could address each of the cases. So we're going to just kind of let that be for a bit. But we are going to ask this. Is Judge Marchand going to sentence Trump on September 18th in court? Is there going to be a sentence handed down? This pertains to the 32 felony counts. So yes. So I guess we can anticipate some sort of a sentence on September 18th. I think this is going to be a no, but I'm going to ask. Is that sentence going to include specific jail time? No. Is it going to include any kind of restriction of freedom of movement? Okay, so that's a yes. I'm thinking like maybe ankle bracelet. And is the sentence going to take effect prior to the election, or will the activation, I guess, of the sentence wait until after November 5th? Okay, yeah, so it looks like he's going to sentence him, but say we're holding that basically in abeyance until after the election. This is an interesting one. Will Trump sell most of his stock in Truth social media, even though doing so would affect his mega investors? Those stocks keep dropping, eh? Like they're not doing well. Okay. So let's ask, and he's coming up, if I understand correctly, he's coming up actually to a point in time where he can actually start unloading some of this stuff. So is Trump likely to start trying to sell off some of his stock at Truth social media? Okay, that's a yes. And does he actually care if that's going to have any sort of a negative impact on other investors? Does he care? He doesn't care at all. He could care less. Is Ivana haunting Donald? I'm getting a yes. But, but I have to tell you that what I'm hearing is more that not so much that she is haunting him, but that he is haunted by. And that feels very much like somewhere in that reptilian brain of his, there are some sort of regrets or something that he wishes he had done that he didn't do. And that may not, we don't need to assume that that was a good thing that he was going to do, but just there seems to be something that haunts him. She would be another one of those people that's living rent free in his brain. Um, and also wanted to know if Donald picked up any angry spirits at Arlington. That's a no. The situation at Arlington is going to haunt him for a while, but it's going to be the humans who continue to kind of rake him over the coals over that. Does the former guy sometimes think he is still running against Joe Biden? Yes, because That is his preferred fantasy. Um, why isn't there more truth and proof on his involvement with Epstein on the news? Okay, that's not really a yes no. Let me see if I can. Um, I can tell you the answer right now is because, frankly, the news cycles are saturated. And part of it is that you have a lot of, media companies, major media companies, who, quietly or not so quietly, are supporting Trump. And so they're not going to encourage their talent, their on air talent, to start raking them over the coals about this. So let me see if I can ask it this way. Um, is there going to be additional information that comes out, or more attention paid to additional information with regards to the Trump Epstein connection at some point going forward? Okay, so that's a yes. Is that likely to happen after the election? Yes. Will Judge Marchand's sentencing be satisfactory to the public? Okay, the answer is no. Okay, because the public, even the public isn't on the same page about what is going to be satisfactory, right? I mean, some people just think, they want him thrown in jail and the key thrown away. Other people, think that monetary fines or some sort of restricted jail sentencing. So there's not going to be an overall, oh wow, that was brilliant. It's just not. Nobody is going to be. Everybody is not going to be happy. Um, will mainstream media finally talk more about the former guy's mental issues? Yeah. Um, so follow up question to that. So is that going to be as a result of um, behaviors that are taking place in public or are widely reported in terms of things that are happening in private? Yes. Okay, how do I see Trump's health in November? I don't know. That's not a okay. Will Katie Porter have a place in the new administration? Yes. Will Judge Marchand's daughter testify for Jim Jordan's congressional committee? Okay. Right now, it's a small yes. I mean, she's not going to blow it off, right? She's not. It's only Republicans who do that because they think they're above the law. Um, and I suspect the next question is how will it go? Well, energetically, I can tell you um, that it's not like Jordan is exactly a brain thrust. Okay, so it wouldn't surprise me if she didn't whip circles around him. I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, poor Jim Jordan. You'd think he would just learn to give up. But he persists in doing these things, and his own witnesses end up sort of blowing up in his face. So it's just unfortunate that this guy can't figure out um, to stop playing these ridiculous games. Will AG Ken Paxton of Texas pay in any way for the unlawful home raids of the LULAC leaders in Dallas? I did hear about that. Um, Are there going to be negative ramifications for Ken Paxton as a result of those home raids? Yes. Who will win the Georgia race between Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Brigadier General and Tuskegee University grad Sean Harris? Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to be reelected to her seat? So, for those of you who aren't new here, you may not know that when the pendulum just goes straight, like it just stops, it doesn't respond. It generally means that there isn't like an answer available. So at this point, I would say that it may be more, it may be closer, perhaps, than um, than we are led to believe, or that we think that is. So that'll be interesting. That'll be one to keep our eye on. Will there be an increase of white males voting for Harris Walls? Yes. Will there be a debate? Yeah. Oh, God, that reminds me. If you're seeing this video, take a peek, because about half an hour after I released this video this morning, well, Friday morning, there was also another video that I released, a bonus video called The Debate. So check that one out if you don't mind. And that answers the question. The answer is, as of right now, was yes, there's going to be a debate, and yeah, it's not going to go really well for him. Will Andy Kim of New Jersey win his Senate seat? Yes. When we take back the House, will Jeffries remove Jim Jordan, Comer, and MTG from committees they currently serve on? Um, will Jim Jordan be removed from the committee he currently serves on when he is no longer, the Republicans are no longer in the majority? Okay, so no. Now he's going to be in the minority, but apparently he's not going anywhere. Will Comer be removed? That's a yes. And MTG? Look at that. It's not answering, because, as we just talked about a couple of questions ago, that race hasn't been determined. Yeah. Well, Tim Sheehy's, I think that's how you pronounce his name, comments about Native Americans, which were just freaking disgusting, helped John Tester keep his Senate seat for Montana. Yes, that was just appalling. You know, I'm not even going there. I'm just not going there. Do we see Vance getting divorced? I don't know. Is there any reason to think he's going to right now? Not right now. Will the Democrats have the majority in the House in November? We keep asking these questions, and we keep basically getting the same answers over and over again. Are the Democrats going to win the White House? Yes. Are the Democrats going to have a majority in the Senate? Yes. Are the Democrats going to have a majority in the House? Yes. Does Susan Collins still support 45? No. Is she going to be public about that? No, of course not. Will Tim Walz's brother, a Republican in Florida, do any damage to the campaign? Nope. And is there animosity between them? No. And you know what? I saw something just before I came on here to record this, but I didn't have a chance to actually look at it. But apparently, his brother has said or done something that apparently, I guess wasn't great news for Trump. I don't know what it was. Um, is Kamala Harris happy with the pace of the Trump federal cases? She doesn't have an opinion about this stuff. Okay, like that's she's got her own stuff going on. Is Kamala Harris happy with Merrick Garland? Again, is she going to replace Merrick Garland? That's a question we can ask. That's a yes. Um, okay. Um, will the well-known CNN anchors ever go back to reporting the truth and facts? Um, yeah. Um, I think it's going to take a while. Okay. Just so you guys know, asking me a question like, what do you see for, or how do you think something's going to do? I can't answer those with a pendulum until I really reconfigure the question. So somebody asked me a question. I wonder if you could please tell me how King Charles is doing. Well, that's not yes or no. Um, I can probably look at it at another reading, but pendulum questions really, really need to be boiled down to yes, no, maybe. I guess, right? Um, does Joshua Kushner have any connection to the business dealings his brother Jared is engaged in? Yes. Again, what is going to be done about Elon Musk? That's not a yes no question. However, he says that he now can't wait to work in Trump's White House. So let's ask this question. Is Elon Musk ever going to hold any sort of a position of any kind of responsibility or authority in the White House? No. Okay. Um, so there was something that came out on Wednesday. It was an indictment against two um, Russian media operatives who basically were funding right wing pundits, um, to get out sort of the Russian version or their take on US politics. Um, the indictments have been released, but those people are not in custody. I don't think they're even in the United States. So let's ask this. Um, is there actually going to be a successful resolution to those indictments in the foreseeable future? No, because you've got to get your hands on them. Um, will Miss Ruby and Shay Moss get Ruby's properties in New York or Florida? So they're not going to get the properties, but are they finally going to see some of the money that that they were awarded? Yes. Are they going to come close to seeing the full amount? No. He doesn't have the full amount available anywhere. All right. So, um, as I said, check out the bonus video that was released also this morning with regards to the debate on Monday, because that was sort of an interesting video. Other than that, it's Friday. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself and someone else. And I don't know how we got to be the first weekend in September, but here we are. So I guess no matter where you are, enjoy the weather if you're having nice weather. And that's what I know for right now. All right. Take good care. I look forward to seeing you next week. And don't forget, by the way, that on Saturday mornings, the Pick Your Crystal readings do come out every Saturday morning if you're interested in something like that. Thank you very, very much for being here. Take care now. Bye bye.